The girl had always been fond of fighting since she was young. As she grew older, she became someone who would settle any score with a punch. Anyone who had wronged her, no matter who they were, would never escape unscathed. For example, the girl who framed her Ailey used force to teach her a lesson and defended her own rights with her fists. Even the prince she had an engagement with wasn't spared. What's even more impressive is that Ailey didn't plan on letting go of the nobleman who had mocked her. She beat them up until they begged for mercy. As the daughter of an earl, Ailey had always endured for the sake of her family's honor. She kept quiet, putting up with all kinds of slights, until one day, she woke up. That was the day the second prince, in front of everyone, announced his engagement to another girl and proposed breaking off their engagement. It was obvious that the banquet had been set up to humiliate Ailey. The nobles present seemed to already know about this, clapping and congratulating the prince and his fiancée in front of her. But the prince still wasn't satisfied and declared that Ailey was the biggest stain of his life, one that had lasted for over a decade. Ailey thought to herself that the engagement had been arranged by the king, so it wouldn't be so easily broken. But what she didn't expect was that the prince, with no shame, started slandering her, accusing her of being jealous that he liked Mary, and that Ailey had done many bad things at school, even locking Mary in the bathroom. In reality, this was the first time Ailey had ever met Mary, and she had never done such things. But the nobles all sided with the prince. No matter how much Ailey tried to explain, it was of no use. So, before she left, Ailey asked the prince if he could grant her one last request. At first, the prince didn't want to, but Mary, pretending to be magnanimous, agreed. To everyone's surprise, Ailey's final request was to beat up Mary. Before the prince could react, Ailey's fist slammed into Mary's face. This punch had been held back for 10 years. The prince angrily questioned Ailey's actions, and everyone stood frozen in shock at what they had just witnessed. But the matter didn't end there. Ailey was deeply dissatisfied with everyone in the room and decided she was going to beat them all up. The nobles quickly ordered soldiers to restrain Ailey, but they didn't expect her fighting ability to be terrifying. She started chanting a spell, and the next second, all the soldiers collapsed to the ground. Seeing this, the crowd panicked and even offered that whoever defeated Ailey could marry their daughter. These words were deeply offensive, but hearing them only made Ailey more determined, as now she had the chance to beat these despicable people senseless. Before long, Ailey stood before the second prince. After she caused a scene at his ball and used too much of her protective power, she had fallen unconscious for several days. However, when Ailey woke up, she found that a maid had tried to assassinate her. Although she wasn't fully awake, Ailey immediately punched the maid. Hearing the commotion, her brother rushed in and, upon seeing that Ailey wasn't hurt, he finally relaxed. But the maid didn't fare so well. At that moment, the first prince brought good news. Ailey's engagement to the second prince had been annulled. But this didn't affect Ailey at all, because the second prince was about to be deposed. It turned out that the second prince's faction had long been involved in illegal slave trading and human trafficking. They had been caught and arrested all at once. As a result, Ailey gained widespread fame.